and welcome back to Mama's Getting Oily. On the last episode, we talked a lot about CBD and why it wasn't dangerous and why we shouldn't be scared of it. And today we're going to talk a little bit about how hemp is not a drug, the body is ready for CBD already, why we use CBD over other products, and how safe it is. Okay, and we'll answer some questions on CBD that are most commonly asked and go from there. I do need to mention that I am not a doctor. I do not treat or diagnose. This is all things that I have learned from experience or by my own research, and I encourage you to research as well. One thing we do say is that anytime you start taking new supplements or products or anything and you have any kind of fear or questions or anything like that, please go to your doctor. Your doctor knows you best and knows what you can take and what's safe for you. I am just giving you the information to start your research and start living a more natural life without the toxins and the harsh chemicals. Hemp is actually a plant that produces phytocannabinoids, which naturally enhance the body's endocannabinoid system. Much like essential oils do not cure disease, but they do aid the body's natural immune system by doing behind-the-scenes things like helping with cellular communication. So essential oils are not going to come in and take away all your problems, but they do aid your body and your immune system and all that to work harder to get you better, and that's why we push it so hard. Nobody is saying that, oh, I have the flu. Here, take this oil. It'll go away instantly. That's not how it works. But the essential oils, pure therapeutic essential oils, help aid your body and the immune system. So the same thing goes for CBD. CBD is going to aid your body in recovering faster. Okay? Science on the endocannabinoid system is just emerging, and we learn more every year. The whole endocannabinoid system was not discovered until the 1990s, 30 years after hemp was banned. So, when they ban things, they make the decision based on the information that they have at that time. Things change. Scientists learn new things all the time. So they're going to find out that we have a system that is set up for CBD. Hemp could not even be studied in the universities because it was grouped with all cannabis species as Schedule I drug in the Controlled Substance Act of 1970, which means they put hemp right in with marijuana, and so it was legal. So there was no studies, no nothing done on it before it was banned. But if you fast forward to 2014, the U.S. government passed a pilot program through the Farm Bill that would allow hemp to be grown and studied. Permanent language in the Hemp Farming Act of 2018, which falls under the Farm Bill, changes status of hemp from a controlled one substance to a commodity like corn, soybeans, or tobacco. In other words, they can tax it. Now that they've found different ways that you can use it and that it's not the same as marijuana, they are going to put it in with other things. That will have far-reaching effects on American farmers, and it should dispel the myths linking marijuana to hemp, because it's not the same, right? We went over that last week in talking about the hemp being the cousin plant to the marijuana plant. So it's not the same thing. Not the same thing. You are not going to get high from hemp. You are not going to get any of that. So many authorities predict that the hemp industry will grow by 700%, and hemp will be grown in the Midwest just as much as corn. Now, you all know the Midwest is known for their corn and their soy. Now they're saying it's going to be grown a lot. Hemp is going to be everywhere. Most Americans within the next 5 years will have at least tried a CBD product, and a high percentage will begin to use it on a regular basis, like they now use multivitamins, supplements, and supplements to promote health. They are aware that the CBD is going to be widespread because it does help. It does aid the body, just like supplements do. You take your supplements every day. If you don't, you need to. And we will definitely get into some new living supplements in the future, because like my days start out with multigreens, and Super B because I need all the energy. I have 4 kids, I have to homeschool, I have to work, and for all that you need energy, and I don't have it anymore. By even being here and learning more about CBD, you're taking part in the revolution by taking out the fear out of a plant that the Lord created and intended for our use. If it is a plant, it is natural, it is fine. It's fine. Now that we've talked about the history of CBD and when it got banned and hemp and all that kind of stuff, we're going to talk about anatomy. The human body is already ready for CBD, okay? We have built-in receptors in our endocannabinoid system to accept CBD. Those receptors circulate throughout our body. They are even found in our white blood cells. So you can think of the ECS, or endocannabinoid system, like a hormonal system, okay? Any woman will tell you that her hormones affect how she feels. Duh, right? We're all crazy. I said crazy. We're all emotional at times, but it also affects our mood, our complexion, our energy levels, and digestion. The ECS affects the entire body and is a major control to overall balance. So with CBD, you're going to get an overall wellness, not just for whatever you're taking it for. So if you're taking it for pain, or you're taking it for sleep or stress, it's going to be an overall wellness decision as opposed to just what you're taking it for at that time. Why should we use CBD products over other products? In a sentence, CBD is a plant. It's a non-surgical, drug-free approach to medicine. And I am not against medicine. You need medicine, take the medicine. But if we can make decisions that do not affect other parts of our body to cure another part, then I feel like that should be our first choice. Dr. Mark Lindholm, who has practiced as a chiropractor for 25 years, says, and I quote, "I believe patients should seek natural remedies first, drugs as a second approach, and surgery as a last resort. Sometimes medication is necessary, but the general public is starting to understand that every drug has side effects. So the fewer drugs you take, the better off you are. I always believe in exploring other avenues. I have been using and recommending supplements to my patients for more than 2 decades, and I have seen some incredible results, but nothing compared to the astounding results I began to see after my patients started taking CBD. It was life-changing for many of them. Some noticed results after a week. Most patients experience the maximum benefit after 2 to 3 months. I'd often recommend the product for one problem, only to find they would notice improvements in their overall health too. In other words, they experience side benefits instead of side effects." How amazing is that? So if you take a prescription drug, there are side effects on every single one of them. It can be a stomach ache, headache, all of it. You've heard them all. It's crazy. And sometimes you have to weigh the options. Do I want to feel better here, or do I want to feel worse here? That's terrible. So it should always be the second choice. First choice should be supplements or CBD to help with side benefits instead of side effects. Because if you take something for one thing and it makes other things better, isn't that a win? That's a win, you guys. A 100% win. So how safe is CBD? We're going to talk about June 2017 literature review that looked at 74 total studies on the safety of CBD and gave promising results. The biggest side effects noted were drowsiness and slight changes in appetite and weight. The number one question: will I get high? Will I become a stoner? We did talk a bit about this last week, but we'll talk about it again because it is a very big question. You don't want to have that side effect. So again, CBD is not the same as marijuana. There is no THC in Young Living CBD. And in November of 2017, the World Health Organization published a report on CBD at a meeting held by their expert committee on drug dependence. The World Health Organization keeps an eye on more than 3 billion people around the earth. That's a lot. And in all that documentation from the World Health Organization on CBD and watching all, these statistics, they did not find not one single case globally, not just nationally, globally, did not find one single case where there was dependence or withdrawal symptoms from CBD. So as soon as you start feeling like you don't need the CBD anymore and you want to stop taking it, or you fall in financial hardship and you can't afford that right now, you don't have to worry about your body going through some crazy withdrawal symptoms. It's not going to happen. You can just stop it. And there has not been any reported cases of abuse or public health problems. CBD is 100% safe as long as you do your research and find a company that has pure CBD. That's the problem. People are thinking that they can buy it from convenient or a grocery store or anything like that and not do any research and just assume that it's safe because it's on the shelf. And I'm telling you, you need to go to anything that you buy from a store, look at the bottle, look at the ingredients, and look up one of the ingredients that you can't say. And you will find a plethora of health risk factors that go with using that product. With CBD, you have none. None. So another question that gets asked often is, can I get addicted or overdose? Current Drug Safety is a reputable journal with articles published on dozens of scientific sites. It's used by doctors and researchers around the globe. They published an article that proved CBD to be non-toxic. According to the article, and I quote, even doses up to 1,500 milligrams a day, about 90 times the amount a doctor would recommend, were well tolerated in humans. Now, obviously, don't go and take 90 times the amount of anything. But it's showing you that there is no overdose risk here. None. Because it's not a drug. It is a supplement. And that's how it needs to be seen. It's a supplement. You take it daily. Because it will build up in your system and just do amazing things. Like we said, side benefits, not side effects. And as always, anytime you take a medication, your body will take what it needs and flush the rest out. Same thing goes for CBD, essential oils, B vitamins, C, vitamin, it doesn't matter. Your body will filter out what you don't need at that time. So the reason why CBD does not cause a high is because it interacts differently with your brain receptors than THC does. THC attaches itself to the CB1 and CB2 receptors. When you consume THC, you may experience physical changes, such as those in coordination, and mental changes, such as those in your mood. You can't have those type of reactions with CBD because there is no THC present, unless the chemical that is responsible for that is in the product, and CBD has 0 THC. So, if you're still concerned, after looking at the World Health Organization, doctors' testimonies, a reputable journal, and science, you're not alone. You're not. People have heard or read or done their own research and still do not feel comfortable. That's okay. But we're going to also talk about why you really need to make the switch. You're not alone. And it's because we've been programmed to believe that marijuana is related to the hemp plant, and so we should be afraid of it. We should be afraid to use it because it's illegal. Well, CBD is legal in all 50 states. So let me put CBD this way. Are you afraid to use CBD but not peppermint or oregano, which also have no THC? And this is what I would say. Who made the plants? Who gets the credit? Revelation 22:2 says, the leaves of the plants are for healing of the nations. Do not fear the plants. The constituents in peppermint cool you off. The constituents in CBD affect change in the body. It's very important to understand that there are science and studies, and the internet is here. And although the internet offers some terrible things, there is a huge thing that it does for us, and it gives us information at our fingertips. There is nothing you cannot find on the internet. Go do your research on CBD. Go find a company that is pure, 100% pure, and start taking the CBD. Start taking your supplements. Start taking care of you. Because like I've said before, it is way cheaper to be healthy as opposed to being sick. I can show you medical bills. It's absurd how much it costs to be sick. Invest in your health now and your family's health, and you won't have to worry about that. Take care of yourself. Take care of your body. Take care of your mind. And I trust in Young Living CBD because I know the company's standards. I know how high they set the bar. And I know that their CBD is going to be the same way. So, that is today's episode. That is today's information on why we need to stop being afraid of CBD. It works well. It works awesome. And it has side benefits, not side effects. And that's what we need to go for. I want to thank you guys for joining me again this week. I am sending out samples of the CBD from last week's episode. So if you still want in on the 3 samples, you get muscle and joint rub, you get some of the calm roller, and some of the peppermint CBD oil. And for all 3, it's $25. And if you guys take that jump and try it for the $25 and decide you want to continue taking this on a regular basis, you can get the CBD starter kit. And I will take your $25 that you've paid for the samples off of the total price of the CBD starter kit. And if you have any questions you want me to address in the future, or you want to request your 3 CBD samples, you can email me at mamasgettingoily@gmail.com, and I will send them out as soon as I can. So next week, what are we talking about? We're talking about what makes Young Living different. We're talking about broad spectrum versus isolate, which is how we get into how pure the CBD is and how you can tell. We're going to talk about seed to seal. We're going to talk about the terpenes in our oil. We're going to talk about 7 reasons why Young Living is better than the organic standard. A lot of people think that organic and therapeutic are the same. They're not. There are multiple levels of purity when it comes to essential oils and CBD as well, and we will go over that next week some more as well. And we're also going to touch a little bit on some more CBD science and how to get started using CBD. So, thank you guys so much for joining me again this week. I can't wait to hear from you guys. All right, bye.
What you're given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to